Hi guys, Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create tidy backs for your pendants and beads. So, if you have a look at my bead backs, you'll see that they're all nice and tidy, so you can see. So there's a variety of ways that you can create your backs. There's the smooth way, where you have no texture on the back whatsoever. There's one where you use a texture like sandpaper or a sponge, and then there's an image-based texture at the back like this one where I have used a leaf stamp, and I'm going to show you how to do all three of those. Now the first one that I want to start with is the smooth bead back, and now this is the one that I least recommend. First off, because you will have to sand the back after it is baked. You need to make sure that there are no fingerprints. You need to make sure it's perfectly smooth, and so it's a little bit more demanding than the other two choices. So the way you will do this is you'll need a piece of greaseproof paper, and this is what's going to keep our back nice and smooth. We don't want to be working on something like a ceramic tile or a piece of paper. Always work on something like greaseproof paper, wax paper, or plain printing paper. Then you want to have your back prepared, and I'm going to be using this really nice pearl white silver skinner blend. And I'm going to be making a really small piece today, and so I'm going to use this little piece of leftover piece that I have. And what you'll do essentially is you'll have your backing, which is nice and smooth on the back, resting on your piece of paper. Then you'll take your veneer, that is the piece's front, your bead's front, and you'll place that onto your backing and just smooth it. Then grab your pendant and press down, and just make sure you press down nice and firm, because you want those edges nice and smooth. Okay, and it will stick in your cutter, but as you can see, our back is nice and smooth, and you can even go now with your finger and you can smooth it out even more while it is sitting in your cutter. And the reason it's in your cutter is because the paper is the clay is not going to stick to it. Then just gently press that out, again still on your piece of paper. Place the bead down and just smooth to get it all nice and ready for the oven. Okay, and then that is what your backing is, and you would bake that on the same piece of paper that you were working with so that it retains that really nice smooth thing. So just bake it like that, and just maybe tint it so that it prevents any scorching, and you'd bake that for a full hour and you'd end up with a really nice smooth back. So that's the one way of doing it, and so here's another one that I did just like it. Nice and smooth, but it's going to need a bit of a sand. Okay, now we're going to move on to just a plain textured back like this, where it's no image but it does have texture. So the way you'll do that is you'll have a piece of clay, and I'm just going to be using copper here. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to bring over your texture, and I'm going to be using this lovely sponge texture. And again, we're doing this on a piece of greaseproof paper so that there's no sticking, because we don't want it sticking. And I'm just going to press that sponge in and then roll a bit to get that texture in really nice and firm. And I'm wearing gloves just to prevent any fingerprints. Okay, and you can see that we have a beautiful texture there. And let's see if we can get this off the greaseproof paper without having to use our blade. Yes. Okay, you'll pop the texture face down, bring over your veneer, and I'm just going to be cutting out a mica shift here. And then just smooth your veneer on like you did before. And then I'm going to use a pendant and just bring that over. Okay, I'm just checking that's nice and smooth. I've got a little something here. Okay. There we are. Press down. Lift up. And there you can see that you've retained your texture. Nice and easy. And then you would keep that on your piece of plain printing paper or greaseproof paper and bake that just like the other one. Okay. And then for the last one, where we're going to be using an actual image, I'm going to be using this fur stamp that I've made using polymer clay. And what you want to do is you want to first dust your stamp and your clay that you're going to be using with cornstarch or spray it with water so that there is a release agent. Okay, and once you've got that dusted, just bring over your texture and your clay. And I'm just going to press the clay into the stamp and then roll. And this should lift up nice and easily. There you go. You got that beautiful fur pattern on the back. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that is that got in there. I'm going to just quickly lift that out. There you go. Okay. And then I will bring over my chosen veneer. And again, it's a little leftover veneer. Now I'll just place that over the top. Smooth, and just be careful not to smooth too hard because you don't want to squish your texture. And then I will use this again. Press, make sure you press nice and hard, and there's your texture on the back. Hopefully you can see that. And now if you've got a little bit of dulling around the edges, what you can do is you can grab your texture again and you can place this down. Let me just figure out which way it's supposed to be going. There. You place it down just like that, and then through the cutter just gently press around the edges. But I'm quite happy with how this looks, so I'm not going to do that. Then I'll just pop that out the cutter and just gently smooth it. And then again, you would just bake that like that. And so that is how you do those textures. So here's the one with that beautiful smooth back. Here's the one with the fur back. And here is the one with our beautiful texture back. Personally, this is my favourite one to use because it means that if I've got a slight squishing around the edges, it looks just fine, and I actually like it because it forms almost like an interesting border, and it's just really easy to apply. Second would be the use of an image-based texture, and then finally I will do the smooth one if I can't do anything else, or if I think this is the best thing to match with the pendant. But this is definitely the most demanding because you need to make sure that you have no fingerprints. You must sand it after you have baked it, and so it's just a little bit more, it just takes a little bit more work to get looking really nice compared to the other two examples. So that is how I like to tidy up my backs and keep them all nice and neat. So I do hope that tutorial was helpful to you. If it was, please do let me know. If I missed out on anything, please also let me know, and I'll try to answer your questions in the comments below. If you have ideas for what you could use to texture the backs of your beads, please do let me know in the comments. I'm sure everybody will love to hear those tips, so please feel free to share. If you liked watching this tutorial, do consider subscribing to this channel, as I post every single week and I have tons of videos that I'm sure you won't want to miss. And if you liked the video, please do give a thumbs up, as that is also very helpful to me. And as always, I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.